Hi everyone, my name is Taylor Renwick and I'm here with Stephanie and Natalie. Today we will be discussing Maynooth University that's located across the pond in Maynooth, Ireland. This presentation will be a deep dive campus analysis into Maynooth University's mission, history, major issues, events that have shaped the institution, as well as the range of academic programs, various departments, and the student demographics. To kick things off, I'd like to start with the mission statement, as the mission statement is what helps leaders guide their institution. Students, faculty, and staff live each day by the mission statement. The mission statement for Maynooth University reads, Maynooth University is a university dedicated to people, ideas, and culture, where we work together as a scholarly community to inquire and discover, to teach and learn, to create, conserve, disseminate, and apply knowledge, and to engage with the problems and challenges that face modern society. Through all these things in combination, we are central to innovation, economic growth, social development, and cultural vibrancy, and are essential to a free, open, equal, democratic, and sustainable society.
So you can get a better idea of the student, faculty, and staff ethics and foundation of learning, as well as the environment of Maynooth University. Here is a list of the ethics noted on the Maynooth website. They include scholarly rigor, academic freedom, integrity and ethical behavior, collegiality, transparency and trust, equality, inclusiveness, and social justice, and lastly, dignity, respect, and care for the individual. It's clear that they take pride in both their academic work as well as pride in treating their students with respect while providing them with an inclusive, comfortable environment.
We wanted to start out by giving you a very quick overview of the higher education system in Ireland. There are 7 universities, 14 institutes of technology, and 7 colleges of education. Maynooth is one of the 7 universities. There are 2 managing bodies of higher education in Ireland, the Central Applications Office and the Higher Education Authority. The Central Applications Office is responsible for reviewing most undergraduate applications in the Republic of Ireland. In the United States, we apply to specific institutions to be accepted into a university, whereas in Ireland, students submit their applications and Leaving Cert scores to the CAO, who then reviews the application. The Higher Education Authority is responsible for regulating the higher education institutions in Ireland. They create missions and objectives for each institution and ensure that those are being followed through at the 7 universities in the Republic of Ireland. They work with each institution to come up with a mission-based performance contract that is similar to what we would consider our strategic planning.
Prior to evolving into Maynooth University was known as St. Patrick's College. St. Patrick's College was founded in 1795 as a seminary for the education of priests. During this time, it was the largest seminary in the world, and the staff consisted of English scholars who were refugees from the Revolution. The college closed in 1871, and that's when it turned into Maynooth University, as well as an accommodation for people that are visiting scholars, conference presenters, study abroad students, or typical students at Maynooth University that are awaiting their standard residential accommodations.
It is difficult to cover the entire history of Maynooth since it dates back fairly far, so we're going to highlight some distinguishing facts. In 1871, St. Patrick's College reopened as Maynooth College, as a pontifical school with the primary focus of study being theology. In 1910, Maynooth College was recognized by the National University of Ireland system, which is only made up of 4 constituent universities and a short list of recognized colleges. Lastly, as a result of the University Act in 1997, Maynooth College became known as MUI Maynooth, or Maynooth University. The college was originally founded by the government in the 18th century as a college for Catholic lay students.
Today, Maynooth has grown rapidly in the past 20 years. There are over 60 undergraduate degrees and programs for students to choose from, and 35 postgraduate degrees and programs. There are a total of 8,900 undergraduate students, 1,500 postgraduate students, and 361 doctoral students. Maynooth also has a largely international student population with 1,600 international students. In the United States, we may be familiar with the term non-traditional student. However, in Ireland, they refer to any student over the age of 23 as a mature student, and these students make up 16% of the student population. The campus is a largely commuter population with students commuting from Dublin and many of the other surrounding areas.
We wanted to talk a little bit about the various departments that we've had the privilege of serving over the past 2 weeks while we have been at Maynooth University. The department that I have had the privilege of working in is Student Services. Student Services houses several different departments, some of which are Counseling Services, the Health Center, Accommodation Office, Student Budgeting Advisory, Student Engagement, and the Chaplaincy Service. More specifically, I had the opportunity to work with the Student Engagement Office. This office consisted of just one person, Ian Russell, who is the Student Engagement Officer. I worked directly with him in order to create an assessment that would help evaluate the orientation program in terms of recruiting, training, and assessing. The goal of student engagement is to manage the development of student activities on campus, including the development of clubs, societies, leadership opportunities, and volunteering activities, as well as promoting students to get involved in the extracurricular activities on and off campus. As I previously mentioned, student engagement works closely with Orientation Week. This past year, student engagement recruited 66 student leaders to participate in the program. In addition to facilitating Orientation Week, Student Engagement oversees 35 clubs and 75 societies, which, if you ask me, is a lot considering that the department is run by a single individual.
During my internship at Maynooth, I was able to get a better understanding of the ins and outs of an international programs office. The office here at Maynooth is structured to aid both Maynooth students going abroad and international students in studying at the university here in Ireland. For the Maynooth students themselves, there are two routes they can take to study abroad, and those are through the Erasmus program, which consists of partnerships within the European Union, so students are all exchange students within the EU. If a Maynooth student wants to study outside the Erasmus program, they call that study abroad. So that would include going to places such as the United States, Australia, or China. There are about 11 staff members who make up the office in positions such as Director, International Officer for short-term programs, and incoming students, as well as the Erasmus officers who work with partners across the European Union.
For the past 2 weeks, I've had the opportunity to intern in the Career Development Center at Maynooth. The Career Development Center has many similarities and differences between our Career Center at UNCW. Some of the services provided are listed here. A drop-in help desk with hours from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. and 2:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. An information room with free takeaway literature, online resources, self-assessments and career interest tests, individual guidance by 20-minute appointments, job postings, information speakers and class presentations, visiting speakers, weekly employers that come to campus to recruit students, and careers and postgraduate study fairs. The one piece of information that is important to consider is how understaffed the Career Center is at Maynooth. Currently, they have 2 full-time advisors and 1 part-time advisor that works 3 days a week. If you take the 12,361 students that are currently studying at Maynooth University and give each student their own career advisor, dividing that number by the 2.6 career advisors that are in the office, each careers advisor would be responsible for advising 4,755 students. One of the challenges that the office faces is reaching out to students who don't want to utilize the services, as those are oftentimes the individuals who need the services the most.
According to Strange and Banning, organizational environments are important because it allows for administrators, faculty, and staff to plan and implement policies, programs, and practices to meet institutional goals. During this slide, I will speak to you about the 3 organizational environments that are the most important, those being centralization, formalization, and production. Strange and Banning defines centralization as the way in which power is distributed in a setting. As you can see on this slide, that the power is distributed from the top-down outlook. It begins with a president who below him has various deans or directors that report directly to him. On the left here on this slide, you can see the current president at Maynooth University, Philip Nolan. The next thing I'd like to cover in terms of the organizational environment is production. Production includes retention rates, diversity of the student body, as well as full-time faculty. There are currently 8,900 undergraduate students at Maynooth University, 361 doctoral students, as well as 1,600 international students from 95 countries, 56% of which are female and the rest are male. The last point that I'd like to touch on in terms of organizational environment is the retention rates. Maynooth University has a high retention rate, particularly because it offers courses in 65 subjects.
Since Maynooth University is a historical university, there are a number of beautiful landmarks throughout the campus, but we have chosen 3 based off of student and staff usage. The first is St. Joseph's Square, which is a beautiful square that houses various offices and visitors. Second is the library on campus, which is on the North Campus. The library is very modern and bridges the North and South Campus of Maynooth. The last landmark is the Student Union, which is pretty separated from the university in regards to their beliefs and values. The union is ran by elected students who hold paid positions and is a high traffic location.
Thank you for taking the time to listen to our presentation. We hope that you've enjoyed learning a little bit about Maynooth University. Have a great night.